Blanket Metalwork, November 27, 2019. I'm conducting the test of D6 knife, finally cut these bamboo chopstick here. These are disposable bamboo chopstick, and pretty much we cut through and avoid the knot area. And we so far all the 6 blades been cut in, each of them already been cut 24 inches each. And so the steel is CPM T15 68.5 Rockwell, 01 65 Rockwell, Ztuff 63 Rockwell, 01 63.5 Rockwell, W2 63.5 Rockwell, D6 65.5 Rockwell. Anyway, so I will show the at the end of the video, and when there is the picture of the edge, just sharpen using Edge Pro, which is 15 degrees precise. Apex a 600 grit diamond plate, and after that increase 2 degrees, so it become a 17 degree refined with diamond 1200 grit diamond plate, and a few swipe, meaning that may be about 5 swipe or something, using CBN at 8000 grit. And at the end of the video, they're going to be picture of each edge freshly sharpened after 4 inches, after 24 inches. And for right now, for this part of the video, I want to show this CPM 15. And this CPM 15 going to have extra cut. So finally cut, mean like so. So for this thing, there's 6 inches right here in length, and I will cut until my hand and shoulder all cramp up. I've been doing this cut for the last 3 days, so right now is the video part. So this CPM 15 will help more than the 24 inches cut. And at this point, cutting this, we show edge stability, and foremost is edge stability, and secondly the wear resistant. But bamboo is very high silicate, so they will wear the matrix down. And for these D6 and for CPM T15, fairly high carbide volume, so the carbide should be able to help slow down the wear. And as far as for the keenness, in terms of getting dull, I don't think they're going to be we get that dull unless the damage occurs. Anyway, so you get the point of me cutting, and so I will try to make the total cut of this T15 to about 48 inches or more. So far this CPM T15 68 Rockwell, 68.5 Rockwell knife been cut 71 inches of these disposable chopstick, and I'm on the last inch. And so I'm going to have the video for the head. The last inch. Oh, the cut is pretty much focused, but when the two red line, and so I think 72 inch is 6 feet is long enough, and I don't think they're going to make much more different to cut longer than this. And besides, it's very exhausting and on the wrist and the thumb here to keep the edge fairly controlled, so that doesn't do many prying motion. And after this, I'm going to take the 400 magnification of the edge, pretty much about here, center line, and would compare to its fresh sharpened edge after 4 inch and after 24 inch and now 72 inch, and probably this is the only knife I'm going to get 72 inch. Because it's a lot of work. One book paper, white page, and we see I will start initiated on the it's almost perpendicular at an angle here, I mean, whatever this degree is. And so let me look in. I would do a little faster. It's definitely noisy. Let me pull out another knife that did only 24 inch, and this is the 0165 Rockwell, compared to that T15. I think not as noisy. I think the edge of that 01 is quite refined. Yeah, definitely noisy to right here. Noisier than the 01, but this is after 72 inch of bamboo. Let's see what is Ztuff. I'm not going to do all the knife. I'm going to take from the picture, and you can tell from the Ztuff. These Ztuff seem to have a little bit more difficult time. See, tight to snag right there. Yeah, definitely the struggle. There one area probably of bigger damage. Well, again, let's try the D6. Yeah, that's it. So that because D6 is supposed to be like CDP. You want anything I like, get a deal what we see. basically been with the two red lines. I mean, that's what the focus. The other one is out there that can be. Yeah. Yep, slipping along. Let me move to the new page real quick. It's scratchy, but not very straight line. I mean, not so smooth. Oh well, in the spirit of things, I guess I already did the other one, so I will do the 63.5 Rockwell 01. It doesn't seem to do that well. Okay. Yep, it definitely hesitate and catch. We see, you can see that later on when I see the high magnification, 400x magnification. This is W2 63.5 Rockwell. Okay, let's start here. That thing go through. It's smoother. There we go. Yeah, one more. Don't want to make too slow. Here. And let's see, go a little quicker. Curious. Yeah, something way out here. I think I slammed into the board. Anyway, all right. So this is the CPM T15 after 72. I finally cut this disposable bamboo chopstick. 72 inches of it, finally cut. And I'm going to show the 400 magnification for these edges. And anyway, basically I'm right-handed and I cut this way, and so the bamboo got cut this way. So, and the angle, the view is from this side. So a lot more wedging or pressure on the inside than the outside. Anyway, so you can know that orientation. I show the T15 first because I use it as a basis of what I think is a best edge, best result. And here is the when initially sharpened with using the Edge Pro at 15 degrees precise, 600 grit diamond plate, and then after that increase it by 2 degrees precise and refine it with the 1200 grit diamond, and then after that a few swipe using the 8000 CBN stone, but it's basically like a plate. Anyway, it's a metallic bond CBN. And as you can see, the sharpening bevel right here, and these are the roughness left over from the 600. And so what I'm creating is a 2D edge And here the scratch line, you can see some coarse and some very fine. After cutting the, after finally cut for 4 inches, as you can see, the bamboo have a lot of, high percentage of silicate. It could be from 5% to 20% of silicate. It's extremely high. And so after 4 inches of cutting, you can see the silicate polish and clean up the edge. You can see here, see all these little hanging over, thing like that, a little bend over, it all got cleaned out. They got abraded by silicate. And the matrix also got polished, so clearly polished. But the interesting part here is, after 24 inches of cut, you can see the silicate abrade away the surface. Here the apex, but the surface now you can see is the carbide exposure. So the carbide actually shielding the further erosion or cutting from silicate. And so, but you can see, okay. So from this point, you can see the apex. Now it actually is well, I got a small window into the whole length, about close to 1 inch of cutting edge length. But so they're not the same spot. So, but anyway, basically you can see that the edge now have a lot of protruding carbide. And these are the carbide that shield the matrix from the abrasive, in this case silicate. And so that's what it looks like. But however, you can see the bevel is still a V shape. It's fairly flat. And now, this is the only knife that cut 72 blade. They cut 72 inches worth. So after 72 inches, you can see the surface got abraded more pronounced. Though that so the carbide actually really prominently sticking out. But what you see here is the focus. It seems to be, not focusing well, but actually because from here to here now, this is 10 micron bar right here, it becomes convex. It's actually convex. And then, interestingly, at the very at the apex, you have a micro bevel. Remember, the silicate here act like a head-on edge leading stone. So they produce a micro bevel. It's about 8 micron, and it's actually clearly a V shape. So you have a V or even a concave edge right here, and then you have convex, and then you have flat. The carbide clearly do a good job protecting the from or minimize the abrasion or the wear from the silicate from of the bamboo right there. So now I'm going to switch to the other steel. I will leave a 15V here. Not 15V, T15. And go to, now I'm going to switch to the other steel. And this is a 63.5 Rockwell 01. And as you can see, it's a very flat. You can see the scratch line here, very nice and flat, all the way to the apex. Up the 1208,000 CPM here is flat. But after 4 inches of cut, there clearly the edge, in this case they got crumble or roll right there. You can see all the break line, and you can see that from all the scratch pattern. Anyway, if something got compressed with bamboo fairly hard. Anyway, so you can see it's clean scratch line, a little bit polished and done here. But now, I mean, I got a little wider view here. Is after 24 inches of cut, you can see a lot of scratch line being pretty much erased and have more polishing now. And the wherever these sort of deformation now become a clear kind of worn away by silicate. So for this height, it's probably about 12 to 15 micron from the flat edge. What I don't know is how much the ace pack been worn away, how much from losses height. But judging from the T15, for the 24-inch version of it, 01 doesn't have that much wear resistance, so because of a slightly cut and push slice and push against bamboo, there might be quite a bit of wear even for only 24 inches. And so this is the 01, but at 65 Rockwell. And again, similar scratch line and the deformation here after 4 inches. And after 24 inches, you can see how much more polished the sharpening bevel is. I mean, this way they interact, not that they got polished by the silicate here. But also here, where the deformation used to be, now, I mean, you probably, again, you will see there's some worn away spot. These you can see right here, it's not like a chip or something like that. You can see when things flow against it, it gets worn away and it gives you sort of a new edge, kind of deal like that. But this become a new shoulder up there, a much higher degree angle here. And that's all this means. So again, this thing again, it look like about from here to here, it's about maybe 12 to 14 micron. So in the microscope, it look. I mean, also you can see it remains fairly flat. That means it didn't get convex much, so the wear is more consistent. As you can. So here's some carbide protrusion here. I mean, there's some, so you can actually see because there are the little protruding, surface mound. And this is W2 with 65.5 Rockwell. And the starting edge, I mean, again, it seems to be fairly refined. After 4 inch, seems like it rapidly wear at the, so I think the apex wasn't instead of the radius wasn't as fine. So the edge got worn away fairly quickly right there. And also some polishing done after 4 inch. But after 24 inch, here it is, the damage remains similar, except you have the little crumble zone here, a little crumbling, and that means compression against it. And they got smooth against it. But the deviation or the along here, the ace pack, which is a ridge here, undulation is not as high as 01. So, and that's why in the paper cutting test, this edge can slide much quieter. And also here there's a defocus. That's why I say it got crumble, and then because of push, so it bowed back out. To the outside, it got bowed back out. That's why the focus is pulled, but you can see the roll, the crumbling here. So this did pretty well, and up here they got polished. And for the D6 when the freshly sharpened edge, you can see some of these really big gap from the 600 diamond. 600 diamond is I think it's about 25 or so micron abrasive with the cutting bits, and also they can torn out a piece. It's actually fairly large. So in this case, they torn these bits. I mean, these chunks from the edge here. It will be about 10 to 11 micron right here. And after 4, and then you can see the scratch line, because again, diamond and CPM, so they have no problem scratching a 65.5 Rockwell D6, and you can see the scratch line. But after 4-inch, polishing been done. I mean, this is the first level of polishing right here. You can see it nice and bright. And the damage, it seems to be extended more to about, in this case, a measure is a 14 micron here. And so, but the wear is, it doesn't have the sharp. I mean, this is a brittle fracture right here, or we can call it a microchip. But this is a wear. It's wearing away right here. So as it plow into silicate from the bamboo here, it won't make into a bigger hole, but it's sloped nicely. I mean, from the wear. And after 24-inch of cutting, there are a lot of protruding carbide here that would shield in the further erosion or wear. I mean, wear from silicate. But also, well, I don't know where this spot located. But anyway, so I can seem like a lot of these apex probably got worn down, where they're not protected by carbide. And so after a while, you just probably wear away around the carbide, and then the edge getting so thin, then that edge crumble, and they keep get erode away based on that. So if you were, I mean, I projected if I cut a lot more, then I would see a lot of this kind of damage. Probably the undulation is mainly the size of large carbide, average carbide here. In this case, maybe about 10 to 12 microns, this depth. That's why I got a missing chunk right here. And the edge remains fairly sharp. And this is Ztuff, a 63 Rockwell. And it's the scratch pattern, and there seems to be, well, in this case, not as uniform, but you can clearly see flatness, the V sharpening from the Edge Pro. After 4-inch of cut, much polishing been done, but also there are little convection at the apex. It's a convection effect right there. So the worn already worn in, so that actually the thing got sharper at that point. But however, it plowed more because it's a little convection. And cut for 24-inch, then the convection enlarged, and also the surface got abraded by a lot of silicate. So they exposed this lumpy, and these lumpy are different than like let's say clearly a carbide and T15. This lumpy is, I'm not really sure what this lumpy, I mean why they are lumpy like that. But you can see for this part right here, like this part and this part, but this part is the one that where it's crumble. It looked like it got pushed in. I don't think, I mean, so this crumble height is about, from here to here, I would say it's about 7 to 8 micron. And, but because also because of the larger convex here, it doesn't have a steep micro bevel, I mean, from the silicate as a T15. But this is 72-inch of cut. So if I were the Ztuff cut more, then I think we'll see different pattern here. Anyway, so the Ztuff looked pretty good. But as far as consistent, as far as able to withstand for this type of cutting against bamboo, and to be clear here, because the cut and the impact the sharpening bevel and the stiffness of the material, that's why they act like a self or a sharpening edge leading, and that's why you have the particular surface behavior. And so the T15 for this particular, I mean, I can project on the way it cut, I can feel it. It's able to cut until a lot more until this micro bevel right here, this apex collapse, and when it collapses, then it might, and then the solder will probably wear a little bit more, and they form a new one, a new little micro bevel. And I think, but the cutting efficiency at that point, because the angle of the micro bevel very high, I mean, from this I would suspect that there's about 30 DPS. So it's fairly high, so I can feel it. You have to push through a little bit more. Well, I mean, when I cut in rope, except in order to get to this level, I have to cut probably about 10,000 cuts, or maybe even more. Because last time I cut with this knife, actually this blade, the half-inch scissor, I cut 4,000 cuts, but I did not take a close picture. But I suspect that because silicate, I mean, bamboo here have much higher silicate than rope, and also have the stiffness. So you have to cut a lot more before they get dull, that so you get enough that you can actually no longer have to do the work. And for versus, go back to here for 65 Rockwell 01 and or W2, I think because the continuation of self-sharpening, I think these edge will probably last. Again, this is your projection because I'm not going to just go sitting there and cut forever here. Is maybe it will cut 60 inches until the edge collapse. I mean, in other words, they're getting thickened, and then at a certain point, the wear, the silicate, want it and will make it into a poorly convex that become like a bullet kind of deal, and too much plowing. So that they have to raise the angle a lot before it actually, I mean, a lot more before it dig into the bamboo. Thanks for watching.